Well, a Canadian is going to be on board the next Blue Origin mission, the 9th as part of its new Shepard program, and among the 43 people flying above the boundary that is officially recognized as space.
So joining us live now is Henry Wolfond, Chairman and CEO of Bayshore Capital. Henry, good morning, and thanks so much for coming in. I understand that you've had a fascination with aviation and all things kind of outer space since you were a kid. You're also kind of moonlight as a professional pilot on some flights and organ retrieval flights and medevac. But tell us about why you signed up to be part of this Jeff Bezos space tourism kind of experience.
It's a little bit of an interesting history, as you said. Growing up in the 1960s, my father was passionate about the space program, the moon race. That was a place where we bonded in front of a black and white TV, watching Walter Cronkite and watching every launch right through the Gemini program to the July 20th, 1969, landing on the moon, and beyond for every moon mission, the shuttle missions. It's been a fascination of mine and passion of mine, and it was really something for a long time I wanted to pursue, becoming an astronaut. And, you know, here we are decades later, after watching William Shatner at the age of 90 fly on Blue Origin in October 2021, I thought, you know, this is something I can do now. So I just felt it was the right time and the right place.
I mean, what an opportunity, Henry. And not only are you going to sort of pursue your passion, but you're bringing a lot of what you're passionate about with you into space. Let's talk a little bit about what you sort of assembled to take with you on board.
I mean, as this mission approached, a lot of things have changed in the world over a little more than the last year. I'm very involved with the Jewish community. I'm very involved with the fight against anti-Semitism. And after October 7th and the horrific attack by Hamas on innocent Israeli civilians, it really set me back. And what was shocking was how that unleashed not sympathy for the Jewish people, but a torrent of anti-Semitism that we're seeing worldwide, that our children are experiencing on campus, in classrooms, and in many cases this is escalating to actual violence. We saw in Amsterdam, Jew hunt. It's becoming an intolerable situation, and this gave me an opportunity to look at the Earth, as William Shatner said, the thin boundary of atmosphere that protects us, and the fact that we're all humanity here. We're all in this together on this fragile planet, and there shouldn't be room for intolerance and hate. And that's something, a message that I hope to convey and ask others to stand up and speak out against.
And Henry, let's go over some of the items. Maybe you can share a few special photos. I know this is a book written by your son, Adam, who is nonverbal and autistic, but just glancing through, he is an avid writer, and wow.
He is fantastic. As I said, this is not self-published. He is a prolific poet, and he writes just beautifully. His poems have been published in the New York Times, and he has a number of book talks and things coming up, including on January 9th. But let's move to some of the other things. So I'm taking things that are meaningful to me. This is a picture of my grandparents in 1929. This was taken in Toronto, but it reminds me that they aren't in Canada. They weren't born in Canada. They came here to escape the kind of hate, persecution, and violence that we're starting to see today. They left Eastern Europe, area of the Ukraine in the before 1920, and came here to have a better life, to blend in, to work hard, to make contribution to their community. And this is a picture of my wife's father, Saul Reker. You can see I've circled on his arm there. That's a tattoo from Auschwitz.
Wow.
He, as a 13-year-old boy, arrived on the platform of Auschwitz with his mother and 5 sisters who had all survived through the Lodz ghetto, where people were dying of starvation, of cold, of disease. On the day that they arrived, he was separated from his family, his 6 family members, and never saw them again. He survived as a slave, was ultimately liberated by the Americans, and also came to this country worked hard, built a business, made a better life.
Right.
And what we're seeing today is a tolerance and acceptance of anti-Semitism that is a stark reminder of perhaps Germany in the late 20s, early 30s. It starts with words, it ends with violence. Hatred that starts with the Jews seldom ends there. And I want to communicate to friends of mine in the community and potential allies out there who may be sitting on the sidelines, who may understand where this is going. And I'm asking them to speak up, to join me, to join other allies.
Well, I'm sure, Henry, as you highlight this on your trip to on Blue Origin, that this will become even more relevant. Listen, we appreciate the time you've shared with us this morning. Have a wonderful trip. I know it's coming up imminently, so take care and good luck. Thank you so much. Great to meet you.
Thank you so much,
Jen.
Henry.
Okay.